2024, we could do some shit that's never been done in history, and it will be easy. We could get rid of racism once and for all as a country, just because we bigger than that, and we don't need to be dealing with that shit in 2024. We could do it now. White people, we gonna need y'all. Look at white people. What? Yeah, so I don't talk about political shit because sometimes my viewpoints change as I get more information. This is one of those situations. I didn't used to believe in this, but now I do. White people, I want you to hear it from me in front of black people. And I in no way speak for all black people, but I do speak for all niggas. And you're not supposed to know the difference. So, okay, so here it is. White people, it's now time for black people to get paid reparations for everything that black people have been through in this country. Let's pay those reparations. Look at white people. What? Okay, white people, I know you're wondering, why now? Why, Cap? Why now? Why? Why? Well, here's the thing, white people, and I'm being honest with you. As black people, we've never said this in history, but it's time for us to get reparations. Black people, it's our money, and when do we need it? You see that, white people? We didn't even rehearse that. That's how badly black people need this money. Like, every one of us needs this. And white people, you need it too. You need it too. Aren't you ready to get this racism shit past us? Like, no white person in here has ever had a slave a day in your life. Don't you want to get this the fuck off of you? Pay those motherfucking reparations. Listen here, white people. We just gave $300 billion to Ukraine. Bring up racism.
Now, we all heard that, right? Now, some people are going to say, well, what's so different about this? He's a celebrity. Other people that aren't celebrities have been saying this for the longest time. So what makes this any more different? The difference is that you have a celebrity out here that is actually talking about it, that's putting it up to date, 2024, speaking about it, and also stating that they are for reparations for black people. And the other thing that was stated was something that I've stated to people in live streams and videos, is that if America really wanted to get through with racism, just give black people reparations. And if there comes a moment in time that, you know, said people decide, I'm talking about specifically, I'm not talking about on a group basis. I'm saying that if, let's say, a black family were to receive, let's say, $2 million, right? And the, you know, potential, right? I'm not saying that this is a definite or anything like that. Just throwing stuff out there. Let's say the potential was that, hey, we're going to give you this money, and the conversation about racism is pretty much said and done, right? If you happen to basically talk or speak about it, then, you know, the money is going to be refunded, right? Though that's pretty much the easiest stipulation, right? But we all know that somehow, some way, that something will get thrown directly out there in order to keep that going, in order to give that money directly right back. Some people would then say, well, Seiji, why would you even say to put a stipulation directly on that? That makes no sense, whatnot, whatever. Well, there's stipulations on everything. In order to receive a good paying job, you have to have the adequate knowledge base in order to sufficiently do that job and require that high salary. And then also being able to request even more money on top of that. You can't just be a bum off the street and decide that you want to get a high paying job, but you don't have no prerequisites. You don't have no knowledge, no information, no tenure, no years, no anything. Right? So what I'm basically stating with that poor example is that no matter what we do directly out here, something is always going to come with a type of stipulation. I was just listing that because I couldn't really give you anything else. But all jokes aside, reparations is viewed as a type of atonement for the things that have transpired in America. The amount of hardships, the racism that black people have had to face and endure and still do to this day, the history of slavery in this country. And technically, if you want to go a little bit deeper, slavery still exists when you look at the jail and prison systems on top of that. And a way into that, when it specifically deals with the Black community and Black children, is by way of the school system. And the many different avenues of which they calculate the jail and the prison beds by way of the grades and the scores and whatnot of kids earlier on in Black communities. Like I said, it's very jacked up how they do a lot of things, but it is what it is. And again, I'm fine with him talking about it. A lot of people sit up there and say, "Oh, I'm tired of these celebrities trying to speak on politics and social issues. Just stick with your job. Just be funny. Just do this and just do that." Well, if everybody did what they were supposed to do, then just saying, right? If you're a person that don't have kids, then maybe you should stay in your lane about not having kids and speaking on that type of life. If you're a person that does have kids, then don't speak on the lives and other things of people who are single and don't have kids. If you are somebody who is married, then you really shouldn't be talking about a single life or clubbing, because that's not specifically exactly where you are. If you're a person that's not married, you really don't have any type of knowledge base to actually speak on a marriage, because it's not your experience. And again, the whole thing can just keep going. It could just derail into a whole branch of other topics of how it is specifically that people of this sector should stay in this sector and other people of this sector should stay in this sector. And even if the branches do mingle and cross, people still shouldn't talk about it. Just mind your, like I said before, people will come up with excuses for the reason that they don't want other people to highlight stuff. Even though said people who have a complaint aren't doing anything to actually highlight it themselves. They're not creating a platform. They're not bringing out any awareness. They're not educating people. They're not doing a lot of things that they actually could or should be doing that they're telling somebody else not to do. So again, hopefully, a lot of people opt not to go that route and state that, Cat Williams needs to stay directly in his lane. Again, he's a comedian. He talks about topics, both old, new, or in the future. He talks about things that are current, relevant, or whatnot, or whatever. So for him to have the platform that he has, the following base that he has, touring all over the United States, and this is one of the subjects that he wanted to bring up, I'm completely fine and dandy directly about that. And again, I know some other people might list, well, he's not the first comedian to do. There's been other comedians. That's great, but they're not here at this moment in time and have the relevancy that he has at this moment. Again, let's go to a relevant comedian. When's the last time you heard Kevin Hart talk anything about reparations? Anything about Black history? He doesn't. He's not, because he knows who his base is, and he knows that he needs to do certain things in order to please that certain base so that he can keep getting the money, the contracts, and all these other things that he's basically doing, and so that he can keep those partnerships going, so he can keep the money rolling directly in. And I can just keep going with a variety of other celebrities as well. So, like I said, I don't really feel any type of way about it. I just view it as a positive thing. If it's a way to get the conversation started where people actually start moving their feet and paying more attention to it, then I'm completely fine and dandy with it. The last thing I'll leave off is this. I just don't want anybody else randomly from any other country sitting up here stating that, so what about us? Does that mean that we get reparations? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. We're talking about the people who have generationally been here. We ain't talking about people that just got here 60 years ago. We're talking about people who have been here for hundreds of years, who have sat up there and had to endure. Their generations of family had to endure. Their generations of family had to endure, and so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. We're talking about those people. For anybody else that just got here, you might want to look towards reparations when it specifically deals with your country and or the area that you came from and the people who specifically affected your people. That's all I'm saying. Like I said, much love, respect, and appreciation to any and everybody else. But you're not going to see me try to make an argument of me being somewhere for 5 or 10 or 15 years and feeling that I deserve some type of money for the hardships that those people had to suffer before I even existed or even knew where that place was. That's completely insane and completely crazy. Nor would I even decide to entertain or decide to, slide myself directly into that argument. Again, I have no knowledge base. I have nothing there, right? So I wouldn't deserve anything. If I was in Haiti, I don't deserve any of that money if Haitians decide to get into that. Same thing with Jamaica. The same thing with areas of Africa. That has nothing to do with me. My basis, my knowledge, everything that I have experienced is in America. So that is, how things should stand, respectfully.